Right. Well, today we are loading coal into the hopper to make power. Let's see. Right now I'm digging in. This pile right here is the coal type is called Bailey's. Not Bailey's, Bailey. A lot of people call it Bailey's. I do sometimes. It's kind of easier to remember. It's from, pretty sure it's from Bailey, Pennsylvania. The other pile, that big nice cone, fresh cone, it's on the ground right there, which I'll be digging out of in after the next bucket of Bailey. That stuff is called high sulfur. That comes from, I want to say Pennsylvania again. Don't hold me to it. I have no idea where this coal comes from. Except the pile that's covered in snow right there. That's Venezuelan. Comes from Venezuela. Hence the name Venezuela. We truck that in from Portsmouth. Does it come off a train? It comes from a boat. Gets dumped off in a dock in Portsmouth. It's hauled up here. Right now I'm loading Unit 2. There's 2 units here, Unit 1, Unit 2. Unit 2 is much bigger than Unit 1. Unit 2 on a really cold day, like today, right now it's like -6 outside. Unit 2, sometimes I'll put 1,000 ton in. Then I'll go to Unit 1, I'll put about, 600 ton in. And then I go back during my shift and top off Unit 2 and probably put, another 600 ton in that one. Unit 2 it's much bigger, so it's less fuel efficient. This right here is high sulfur coal, which they just got a train, they just unloaded a train today and yesterday that had high sulfur on it. That's why there's a cone here, and I'm not digging out of the pile, it's stockpile. So right now I'm loading Unit 2. Unit 2, right, it has a mix. You gotta mix it. It's got a special mix. Right now, and since I've been here, it's been running 2 buckets of Bailey's, 1 bucket of high sulfur. Normally, Unit 1 gets 2 buckets of high sulfur, 1 bucket of Venezuelan. But last week, it rained, and it thawed, and it snowed. So they cut off the Venezuelan because it holds a lot of water, and it wasn't running through the plant very well. Because when it's wet, it just takes much more to burn it. Much more to burn it. It's just like burning wet wood. It's harder to burn wet wood than dry wood. So they switched the number. The Unit 1 mix is 3 buckets of high sulfur, 1 bucket of Bailey's. So the mix isn't too much different right now. I'm in a 980H. It's got like almost 7,000 hours on it. No, 6,500. It's 2 years old. It's got a high capacity bucket on it. I wouldn't call it a coal bucket. I've seen these digging sand before. It's around 12 yards. It looks small from back. Whoop, wrong pile. See, what happens is sometimes you forget how to count to 2. It's 12, I think it's 12 yards. Heaped up, it's probably 14. But I don't like making a mess while I'm up here. So I just kind of shake it off. A bucket like the one I got right now averages around 9 tons. I've loaded it to 12. Coal's really light, not very abrasive, and it's really light. So 9 tons. 9, see that bucket right there was 9 tons exactly. There's a scale in this loader too, plus a backup camera, which I don't find very useful, but it's kind of cool. Alright, so there's 2 conveyors, System 1, System 2. They bring those into that crusher building right there where the hopper is. There's 4 600-watt or kilowatt hammer mills in there, with 80 hammers each. They run them 1 week forwards and 1 week backwards for the wear on the teeth. And then when it comes out of there, there's this thing on the other other side of the belts before it goes into the plant. And every 20 minutes it takes a swath off the belts. And then there's guys that come check them every day, the swaths, and see the size of what they're crushing and see if they gotta adjust the mills or swing them backwards or change hammers. They're 20-pound hammers in each mill. And what happens when it's cold like this, the frost chunks clog up the screen. There's 6-inch screens on the hopper. I gotta go back here, about underneath the limestone conveyors and just push it off. And I don't. Yeah, that one's wrong. Sometimes the feed belts kick off. And you think it's clogged, but it's not. So then it goes from the crusher house after the swap thingy magate there. It goes into what they call the tripper room. And it's got this big tripper door. Fuck, what number was it? What it goes into is the tripper room, and it will go. There's 3 silos per unit. Right now I'm loading silo 1 on unit 2 because I just started. And they'll usually call me when silo 1's full, and they'll switch the trippers. They turn the feed off, empty the belts, and then move the tripper down the line. It's actually a pretty cool process when you're in there. And then that goes, the silos dump into the furnace. The furnace boils water. The steam goes into the generators, turns the turbines, which powers generator. This plant has, like I said, 2 units, and it also, when we're on high production, they have 2 jet fuel turbines, and those turbines create power too, just to give it that extra boost. So that's what they do. So that's about it. There's a limestone scrubbing system here. They scrub the line. They bring limestone in from. I haven't gotten a tour of that process yet. I want to. They bring the limestone in, turn it into a slurry, shoot it into the coal exhaust. That heats the limestone, and the byproduct is gypsum, which gets hauled off to a drywall production facility somewhere in Maine. Also, right in front of me, there's a building. You see the little silos there. They make what they call Black Beauty for spraying, you know what it means. Crap, I forgot. For, yeah. I forgot. Damn it. For, sandblasting. Sandblasting. That's the word I was looking for. So, here, the company that we're working for, we're subcontractors. We just operate their equipment. I only come here in the winter. It's actually not a bad gig. My shift is 3 to whenever the silos are full. There's another guy that comes in at 3 o'clock and he fills the silos too. So, essentially, we're burning almost 5,000 tons of coal a day, which, if you look at the other power plants, the bigger ones, I don't think that's that much. A lot of times you forget how to count to 2 when you're doing this. So right now I think I'm on my 2nd bucket of failures. Don't hold me to it. If I screw up in this video, well, fuck it. It's not the worst thing that can happen, but it's not great either, because they take samples and they say they can tell. I'm not sure how true that is, but still, you don't want to screw up their mix. Because one system runs better, or one unit runs better on certain mix. That's why there's mixes. Here we have this 980H. We have another 980H that loads gypsum. It's got an even bigger bucket than this one. We also have a 834B wheeled dozer, a D9N with a coal blade on it, and a D10N with a coal blade on it. Then in the winter, the company I work for usually hauls installs an excavator here to break up frost chunks, and sometimes the limestone trains get frozen up. They gotta dig it out. It's a process. And also, we bring our 980H that apparently used to be owned in this place. And our 980H is a backup to this one, essentially. If this one ever went down in the middle of my shift, I'd have to go grab that one. These don't really go down. Well, don't say that. I'm knock on some wood now. But yeah. So that's the process, and this is what I do. Until whenever. Usually I'm out of here by 8 o'clock. That's not. That's it. Alright, on to the next one.